So I asked people on my social media page a question. Do you enjoy entertaining at home? If you do, why do you enjoy it? And if you don't, why do you not like to do it? I got some great responses and some questions about entertaining at home that I think I can help with. So I'm going to answer some of those now. So there was one topic that seemed to come up more often than anything else when people talked about why they did not like entertaining at home. And that topic was cleaning. Nobody likes the clean. Nobody likes the prep that goes into having people over. And people even said they felt like their house needed to look perfect in order to have people come over. So let's talk about that. Do you want your house to be clean when people come over to visit? Of course you do. But does it need to look perfect? Does it need to be this huge stressful thing? No, it absolutely does not. Here are some things that I suggest. Plan your entertaining around the time when you would normally have your house cleaned anyway. So I know some people have a set schedule when they clean their house. If you know you clean your house on the second Wednesday of every month, then plan to have guests over that following weekend. Simple. So here's another tip for you. Only clean the areas where your guests are gonna actually be. There's no need running down to the guest room and scrubbing the crevices in that bathroom when you know that your guests are only gonna be upstairs in the kitchen, family room, and maybe in this bathroom. So of course, clean the bathroom where the guests are gonna actually use, make sure it's spick and span, but leave the rest for another time. So here's another tip for you. Do not clean and entertain on the same day, because if you do, you will be worn out. Clean up on one day and then entertain the next day. And then all you have to do is freshen up. So since I got so many comments about cleaning, I decided to take a poll on my Facebook page and ask people, when you go to somebody else's house, are you really looking to see how clean and organized it is, or are you just worried about where the wine is? The overwhelming majority of people said that they are not looking at other people's organization skills or how clean everything is. Of course, nobody wants filth, but people are just wanting to get together with their friends. So do your regular cleaning, relax, and have a good time with your friends. So we had another question from Jill O, and Jill wanted to know about proper etiquette when throwing a potluck. Jill, I think potluck parties are fabulous. I know how much effort goes into planning a party, and I think it's amazing to ask people to bring something to share. So here's what I would suggest. Any communication that you send out inviting people to the party, I suggest that you add to that communication that it is a potluck. Ask them to bring a side or whatever you'd like them to bring. That way they're clearly informed up front of what it is that you expect from them when they're coming over. Most people have no issue with bringing something to share. Another tip that I have for you on that same line is if you have friends who are coming over that you know really well, you pretty much know what their thing is that they bring that everybody likes. Call them in advance and ask them to bring that thing. That way you have all the important stuff covered and you don't end up with 12 bags of potato chips at your party. So if you have people coming over who you're not very familiar with and you don't know what they're good at, I always suggest that they bring wine or something to drink. So we had a two-part question come in from Tate P. One part of her question was about how you prevent bugs from flying around when you're entertaining outside. I wish I had a 100% foolproof answer to that question, but I don't. But here's what I do when I'm entertaining outside. I normally put an attractant for insects on the far ends of the yard, away from the food, so hopefully the bugs will be attracted to that as opposed to the food. I also hang fly strips, and one other thing that I think is imperative is the netted food covers that you can use on your tables. Those things are invaluable. Cover your food up. Just because the bugs are near the food doesn't mean they have to be on the food. So the second part of her question was about how to tactfully ask guests to remove their shoes when they come in the house. I feel like if you ask guests to remove shoes, You have to have an alternative for them. Everybody doesn't want to walk around your house barefoot. So you can use a basket of socks. Then you have to wash those every time somebody uses them. Or you could do what I do and have these disposable shoe covers for each guest to put on. They're cheap, they come in a package of like 5,000, and you can just roll them up, put them in a basket by the door, and you probably won't even have to tell guests. They'll see them and they'll cover up those shoes. So both Jen W. and Sarah G. expressed that they felt like the cleaning and then the cooking on top of that was just too much. Well, I agree. Sometimes it is, especially if you don't enjoy doing both of those things. So I have a solution for you. Call a caterer. If you're gonna do the cleaning, use a caterer. If you're going to do the cooking, then call somebody to clean your house. It's a one-time thing. Doesn't need to be all the time. Doesn't need to be super expensive. Hey, sometimes you can even find a friend who would be happy to come over and do that for you for a little pocket change or maybe even a glass of wine. Call somebody to help. So guys, thank you so much for all the wonderful questions and comments that you guys sent about entertaining at home. I had so much fun answering all your questions and would love to get some more. So if anybody has any other questions or comments, please drop them in the comments. I'd love to try to answer every single one of them if I can. So thank you guys so much for watching. And remember, if you liked the episode, give it a thumbs up and be sure to hit subscribe so we can keep you up to date on all our latest tips and tricks and Coleman connections.